Do you expect the Browns to be better now that they fired Hugh Jackson and Todd Haley?
That is the appropriate response. This is so Browns right here. The first head coach of the season is fired. And keep in mind, this is happening during the most successful run in his tenure. Over 3 years, he has had the worst regime that any of us have ever seen from a head coach. They've won only 3 games, and now this becomes about the future of Baker Mayfield. What makes Baker Mayfield better? But it should be noted, these coaches that are scapegoated for this, they didn't do this thing with Josh Gordon where they trusted him year after year. That was management's decision. They didn't trade for Jarvis Landry. They didn't think that Tyrod Taylor was the way to go this year before Baker Mayfield. Those are management decisions that got made for Hugh Jackson there.
I'm starting to think the problem is that Hugh Jackson, Todd Haley, and Greg Williams are all on the same staff. Like, it's the guy hiring the coaches that's really the problem here for the Cleveland Browns. But, Dan, I will remind you, Mike Pettin, 10-22. Pat Shurmur, 9-23. I can't believe I'm saying this. Eric Mangini, also 10-22. You forgot he was a Browns coach. No, the Browns will get better when they get better players. It doesn't matter who the coach is. If Baker Mayfield is good, then the Browns will be good. And if Baker Mayfield is not good, then the Browns will continue to be the worst organization in the NFL. That simple. Just to add a little something to the mix to make this Browns situation even more chaotic, Greg Williams has been hired as the next Browns head coach. That is right, a man who was banned from the NFL and I'm pretty certain was wearing a disguise at one point on an NFL sideline. Here's your new Browns head coach. All fixed.
You know who they should hire?
Who's that?
Oh, somebody that's going to win them 7 or 8 games every year without fail. Jeff Fisher.
Get Jeff Fisher
Yes.
in there.
Yes, no one gets you 8-8 quicker.
Ready for this job.
Have the Red Sox become the Yankees?
One of the things that's happened in this sport, and this is really a terrible way to celebrate a championship and the greatest Boston Red Sox team I've ever seen.
But we do, though.
One of the things that's happened here is what used to be the coupon clipping Oakland A's or Tampa, winning in the margins, finding market inefficiencies. Now that data is being used by the teams that also spend. So the Boston Red Sox can make a mistake on Hanley Ramirez, and it doesn't matter at all because they'll just replace his home run with someone like J.D. Martinez. They are overwhelming as a baseball team, young and strong, and last night, David Price becomes the non-choker in the face of Clayton Kershaw, the choker, because they will make anybody good. They're really good, and they deserve every bit of this championship.
Dan, they can replace mistakes, but you have to give them some credit. They don't make many mistakes. They have not made many mistakes during this run. They have a good young baseball team that's going to be around for a while. But the question is, are they the Yankees? Have they become the Yankees? No. When they win 18 more World Series, then they're the Yankees.
There you go.
All right.
The most obvious math ever done by this man right here 18. In the history of ESPN. Mm-hmm. They will not be as good until they win exactly one more championship.
That would be 19.
Well, do you think that if the Yankees would have won the World Series, we would have started this show talking about the Cleveland Browns? There you go.
There you go.
There you
That's
have
a good
it.
answer.
That's right.
He's so right. Right? If the Yankees win, we're not talking about Todd Haley and Hugh Jackson first.
18 more to go.
Should the Packers be encouraged they almost beat the Rams or discouraged that they blew it?
Okay, so the end of that game was an act of total insubordination, according to Mike Silver, where Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers do not get the ball for the thing that we all wanted to watch, a drive down the field late against the sport's only undefeated team, Ty Montgomery. Because he was upset, Mike Silver is reporting, he took that kickoff out of the end zone and then fumbled. And while the Packers should be encouraged that they could beat anyone with this quarterback, they knew that already. What they need to do is survive this part of the schedule with victories to get him into the playoffs, even if it's on the road. But the teams they're playing are tough, and it's going to be difficult when they wasted an opportunity here for Aaron Rodgers to help keep them in the discussion as a playoff team that everyone's going to fear because this quarterback is that kind of good.
Everyone wanted to see that moment, Rodgers driving down the field, except for Ty Montgomery, apparently. He did not want to see that moment. He wanted nothing to do with that moment. He wanted that moment to be about Ty Montgomery. Dan, they should be discouraged and encouraged. Discouraged because you're right, they actually need that win to get to the NFL playoffs, to get to the NFC playoffs. They should also be encouraged. I think I got this right. Encouraged because I don't think the Packers knew, even with Aaron Rodgers, if they were good enough to hang with this Rams team on the road. And now they know, hey, All we need is that guy, and we can compete with that team.
I think he got it right. He got confused. He got tangled up in the labyrinth of I'm encouraged and discouraged. He chose both of them, even though the question asked him to choose one.
I didn't. I'm sorry about that. It's the super tight shirt and super tight jacket has me thinking clearer tonight.
That wasn't that much clearer than he normally thinks.
You're right.
You know, if Aaron Rodgers were such a good leader, he should have gone and got that kick of himself, you know, and kneel down on the end zone, you know. That's the way great leaders, they do.
That's the way great leaders, they do.
Yep. What's wrong with that?
Okay.
He's a big chicken because he didn't do it. You know, he blamed the other guy for fumbling the ball. Well, the other guy was trying his best to move the ball upward. You know, he was trying to gain some yardage in there. He saw, well, maybe I can get 40, 50 yards on that run. And all of a sudden, you know.
I mean, yeah.
That's right. He fumbled.
And that is what happened. The first fumble is redundant. We all got it before that.
Are the Saints right there with the Rams?
No, they are not. The Rams are undefeated. The Rams are overwhelming. We are going to have a hard time to explain to future generations how it is that the Saints lost at home and allowed 48 points to Ryan Fitzpatrick. But when you look at the Saints team from yesterday, I know that score is surprising. That's Drew Brees throwing for 120 yards. That's a pick six going the other way on Kirk Cousins on a route broken by a receiver. That's a fumble in his own red zone. The Vikings outplayed the Saints yesterday, but don't get the result. Something worth monitoring, though. Kirk Cousins was pressured 49% of the time back there. That offensive line is a sieve. They've allowed more pressures than anyone in the league by a lot. That's the Vikings' Achilles heel. I think people will be surprised to learn that Kirk Cousins doesn't fix that.
We'll find out this Sunday. I mean, the Rams are going to play the Saints in New Orleans this Sunday, so we'll find out if the Saints are right there with the Rams. I happen to think that the Saints are right there with the Rams. I think defensively, they're playing much better. Offensively, they have the same kind of weapons as the LA Rams. They have the two running backs. They have a lot at wide receiver. So I think these Saints are right there, Dan. A lot of people like them to make it out of the NFC before the season started. Got off to that bad start, losing to Tampa. How'd that happen? How? Football. That's how it happened. But they've won 6 straight, and I think the Saints are just as good as the LA Rams.
What you have happening in the NFC is both of these teams, the Packers and the Saints, are hoping that a one-game sample with that quarterback is what could slow the Rams. They all got encouragement from yesterday in that regard.
Todd Gurley cost me about $100 by not scoring that touchdown.
that's
Waiting for him to get into the end
Bobby
zone,
had
and
the
at the end
over,
there,
yeah.
he stopped there, you know, like a big chicken because he just didn't want to leave any time left on the clock, you know. And in the meantime, he blew my pocket open. You know, I got a big hole in my pocket.
Blew his pocket open.
Yeah,
Odd reaction to have to Todd Gurley just
Rams
running
over
out the
parlay,
clock.
huh, Bobby?
Right.
Yeah.
Blew his pocket open.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable. Well, he stayed on loose for. Did I sell it?
Sold.
Are the Chief linemen cheating, or are the Broncos just being whiny babies?
Cheating is the word. It might have sounded like something else because of his accent. That Wolf guy, that crazy guy who plays for Denver, the guy who once threatened to eat Tom Brady's children while getting up off of Tom Brady, he said that the Chiefs linemen are way downfield, that they are all on the cusp of skirting the rules because in all his time playing football, he's never seen linemen be able to get that far down the field. But I would say that's a coach's job, to be able to create the kind of scheme that is right on the borderline that referees are there to call for you. They can whine all they want, but if the referees aren't going to call it, they're playing in a gray area where football teams want to win.
You know, it's interesting, Dan. Here's a sign the Chiefs are becoming really good. You know what happens when teams become really, really good? Like the Patriots, others start accusing them of cheating. They are not cheating. How about Denver? Do me a favor. Go out and stop them. How's that sound?
Okay, there you go. Do him a favor. If you weren't trying to stop him before, would you do it as a personal favor requested on television by Stugat?
Thank you.
Stop the Chiefs' offense, which, you know, is hard to do.
Ring, 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 ring. Hello?
What happened?
Oh, Ted. Oh, Ted Wells. Ted Wells. What's going on, Ted? Oh, you can do that. You can do a major investigation about the Kansas City Chief lineman going downfield. Yeah, for how much? $3 million. Boy, that's a hell of a deal. Wow. Yeah, that's right. How long is it going to take you? A couple of weeks? All right. Pass the word around, Ted. Boy, this guy's willing and dealing.
Lowered his hourly rate, right?
That's right.
Binder.
Wow. Mike Gundy write about Twitter?
Oh, I love Mike Gundy. They beat Texas afterward. There must have been a great celebration that I'm sure Gundy drove to in his 1985 Trans Am. Let's listen to him here as he stereotypes.
The last 2 weeks, there's been a lot of criticism of Taylor. How vital was it to you that he gets off to a good start in this game?
Criticism where? From where?
Outside noise.
From where?
Twitter, radio.
Yeah.
No, I give a rat's about Twitter. It's a platform for people that are sitting home drawing an unemployment check, sitting in front of a keyboard.
The rare double. But
great.
what I love about it is just how he's leaning like a man at his bar who wants to hit on your grandmother because he's been at that bar since 10 a.m. Mike Gundy with an awful lot of arrogance for someone who's always losing the important game 45-31.
Yeah, but he won this important game, so his words carry a lot more weight after you beat Texas, Dan. I happen to agree with Mike Gundy, but had he lost to Texas, I'd be crushing Mike Gundy today for his thoughts on Twitter,
He
man.
wouldn't give you those thoughts after a loss.
Boy, he sounds like me after I have some black beans and rice, you know?
Oh, look, you got a bonus one. You weren't expecting. Oh, look
yes!
at
That's
that.
right.
Hey,
One more.
Hat trick.
Oh!
That's great television.
Did Ty Lue get a raw deal?
Rough weekend for the Cleveland coaches, huh? The football coach gets gone today, and Ty Lue gets a reprieve from the Cavs. Nobody wants to be coaching that team. That team has not won a game. That team was down 20 the other day at home to Brooklyn. Kevin Love is now out for a month. Ty Lue, who told us last year that he was suffering from anxiety issues, probably doesn't want to be around this. Now, obviously, he doesn't deserve to be fired at 0-6, not after being to the finals 3 straight years and winning one of the surprise championships that we've ever seen in that sport, but I can't imagine that he would want to be there. He gets his guaranteed money and the relief of doing another job that doesn't feel like the losing in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's still a raw deal, though, Dan. And here's the deal with the anxiety you were talking about. That anxiety he was dealing with last year now plays and resides in L.A. So that is out of the picture now. It's a raw deal. Like, here's a coach. I don't care who was playing for him, but here's a coach who got his team 3 trips to the NBA Finals, 1 NBA championship. He loses 6 games and gets 1 trip to the unemployment line. Yes, that is a raw deal.
Well, he stayed on loose fall.
Yes, that is a raw deal.
Well, he stayed on loose fall. He got sick. He missed 10 games. Larry Drew stepped in. He went 9-1. That's it. Bon voyage, you know. He can go and just take some time off. They don't need him there, you know. It's all your fault. You should have.
Tell him?
What
What did you
happened?
tell
Bon
him?
voyage.
Yes,
That's
bon
right.
voyage.
That's
Yes,
right.
yes, yes.
That's right.
Bon voyage. Yes.
Something close.
Nailed it.
Yeah. He missed 10 games. The other guy stepped right into his shoes and he showed everybody that he could do his job. He went 9-1. Huh?
And so
That's
they
it.
said what? They said,
Bon voyage.
there it is. He got
There
it.
you are. I got it. Close. That's French. Parlez-vous français, monsieur?
Thank you.
That's right. Très bien.
everything.
Parlez-vous français?
Perrier he threw in there. There was a Perrier.
Très bien. Do you question if the Seahawks should be prouder of their fake punt or their touchdown celebration?
The Seahawks beat the Lions yesterday in Detroit, and their punter was told flatly, just run out of the end zone to protect this 2-touchdown lead. We're deep in our own zone. We don't want a disaster play. But Dixon is funky. Look at that.
Oh, he sees a crease.
He
Sees a hole.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Pete
Look
Carroll.
at Pete Carroll.
Celebrating him, he would have cut him.
Yes,
Had that not
would have
resulted in a
released
first
him on the spot if that hadn't worked out. So let's check out the touchdown celebration as well. Let's see if it's better than Pete Carroll after ordering his punter to run out of the end zone and being defied and being joyous about it. What do we have here? To make it 21-7 before the half.
Ooh, nice.
Welcome back, Ed Dixon. Oh, we got a beanball situation. Yes, Baldwin's going to charge the mound. Baldwin got a bum deal on that celebration, didn't he?
Both those things are great, but in terms of which they should be prouder of, it is a punter who has been instructed by his head coach to run out of the end zone because you're the punter, and those are punting type things that you do. Instead, he said, no, I'm going to be Ty Montgomery. I'm going to go get 12 yards. I'm going to get my team a first down. They should be prouder of that.
Ty Montgomery without the fumble.
Oh, yeah.
Without the fumble.
Did you see what he said to reporters after the game?
Let's see. What did he say? Yeah, I've got big bleeps. They call me. Wait a minute.
What?
We can't put that on television. Did we just put that on television? You can't put that on television.
Gundy was right about Twitter.
Do you question if Steph has surpassed LeBron?
Surpass does not have an extra R in it. We've got only one R in surpass. Let's see what we've got here from warm-ups, though. We've got Steph Curry during warm-ups of a recent game doing, silly.
Steph Curry type things.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, he actually seems a little bit surprised by that one. Let's see what LeBron can do here.
Oh, man, he's getting old.
He's getting old.
Oh, man.
He's getting old, says Stugat.
It is.
This is it right here. This is the sign of the LeBron James decline.
I mean, is it not?
Lakers, this is the years you got.
3 years ago, we would have done that in a game and threw it down. I mean, I feel terrible for him.
Time to play the game that found some leftovers in his car and ate them, even though they are month-old. See? Oh, no.
It's a meatloaf on the floor of the passenger seat. You tell us what to watch on television tonight. We'll tell you if we're intrigued.
I went the wrong way there.
Tonight on ESPN, Monday Night Football, Patriots and Bills.
Oh, the Patriots, I was kind of intrigued, but the Bills are so bad that they even dilute my desire to watch the Patriots. But let's check out Tom Brady. Mad scrambling skills here in his 40s. There it is. Yes, and there it is.
It's into the end zone, pending the call.
That guy let him go. Those are the new rules in play right there. Tom Brady playing by different rules than everybody else.
I want to watch that game again.
Yes, that game. Let's just watch that again tonight. Stugotz, are you intrigued?
Listen, the NFL does this amazing thing where I know the outcome, and yet I'm still going to watch the game. The Patriots are going to blow them out, but I'll be there watching them blow them out.
That's not the NFL doing that. That's gambling that does that. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. You know, everybody's counting the Bills out, but I got news for you. You know, those odds makers are going to make a big mistake. You know, they're going to start Derek Anderson. He's going to have a tough time, you know, the first two quarters, but then, you know, who is in that bench waiting to come out? Nathan Peterman. And that's the guy that is going to make it happen. He's going to shock the NFL world, you know. I'm telling you, I got my money on the Bills and Nathan Peterman. That's a name that you'll never forget. He's going to shred Tom Brady and that New England offense into small pieces.
Okay, or the defense. I don't know why he would be doing anything to the offense.
Both of them.
Everyone. That's how great Peterman is. He's going to shred everyone. It's just
Everybody.
the tattered remains of the
That's right.
Patriots dynasty.
On NBA TV, Lakers and Timberwolves.
Oh, my parents have a bit of a torn relationship